Russian President Vladimir Putin has been escalating his threats of nuclear retaliation in his war against Ukraine. He says Russia may use nuclear warheads if Ukraine uses American-made weapons to strike targets within Russia.
When the talk above ground is of nuclear weapons, where better to be than down here? We've come to one of Moscow's Cold War bunkers, buried 65 metres underground. It was built as a top-secret command centre for the Soviet leadership. No sign of the Politburo now, but there are tourists learning about red lines and red buttons. So what do they think of Vladimir Putin's latest threats? That Russia could respond with nukes if it's struck by conventional missiles.
Everyone is scared of a situation like this. But when you are surrounded by enemies on all sides, there are probably no options left.
I hope that the West will understand us correctly and stop interfering. Back off.
Visitors have shown a replica of the first Soviet atomic bomb. The hardware's moved on since, but the warnings remain the same. Being here really feels like you're stepping back in time. But it's not just down here that there are echoes of history. It's also up there with these threats of nuclear force. And the question is really the same as it was during the Cold War. Is the Kremlin bluffing or not? Vladimir Putin's red lines have been crossed before. The West has supplied missiles, tanks and fighter jets to Ukraine, all without retaliation. But Moscow insists this time it's different.
Have you ever heard a very old Russian proverb that Russians are long to move, but then they move fast? That's the case.
If, for example, Ukraine actually uses British Storm Shadow missiles to strike inside Russia, what, Russia's going to nuke London?
Everything that is written in our nuclear doctrine, you should take very serious.
Meanwhile, back in the bunker, a reminder of what's at stake. If the aim was to complicate decisions in the West, Russia's certainly done that. Ivor Bennett, Sky News, Moscow.